Oh, hey y'all. Before you get into this next video, understand this. Hey y'all. Zoom, very trash with the little auto framing feature because it's just messed up the whole thing. But I've got to let it run because it was such a great episode. So I hope you guys enjoy it and I'll holler at you later. Come on, guys. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the ITUTv podcast. If you don't already know, this is about building independent traders at Independent Trading University. Now, today's episode is going to be a bit different. We're not talking theories. We're not talking strategy breakdowns. We're talking real experience. There's nothing like learning from other traders as they go through the day-by-day process. Because the truth is, most people don't fail in trading because they lack knowledge. They fail because they can't make it through their first year. The frustration, the inconsistency, a lot of the self-doubt that gets involved, the emotional swings that are constant, man. But that first year is where the traders are going to either fold from what's going on or they're going to get forged in a fire that's going to make them great. And today we've got a trader who did not quit. They stayed through the losses, they stayed through the confusion, and now they're stepping into something that's different in year two, building structure, awareness, and consistency. So this is about what it really takes, right? What it costs and who you really have to become to be the best trader you could possibly be. So let's get into it today. I'm joined by an ITU student who is currently in that transition phase. Not beginner anymore, not finished yet either. They're right in the middle there where most people would normally quit and really have now taken the next level after. So I want you to take the time out, my brother, and briefly introduce yourself, who you are, how long you've been trading, and what made you commit to this path in the first place.
All right, all right. Appreciate the introductions, eh? What's up, y'all? My name is DeAndre. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I got four kiddos, number five on the way. From Texas, currently located in Oklahoma. As far as trading goes, I've been part of ITU since 2022, but I didn't actually have a resolve to really take it seriously until about 2025. And as Zay said, I am in year two of building now. But yeah, it's something that I've started, I'm addicted to, and I don't expect to stop anytime soon, honestly.
I heard that. I heard that. Once you get involved in the journey, don't mistake that for an addiction, right? We all get addicted to things, but this is something magnificent, something that's going to grow you, personal development to another level. Wire your brain differently and really get to operate on a level that most never get to experience. You know what I mean? And that's going to carry you year after year. You'll be able to provide information to your family, generation after generation, that they'll be able to utilize. So it's fantastic. And DeAndre, I appreciate you sharing that for sure.
Most def, man, most def.
So let's go back to year one because this is where a lot gets exposed, right? And who you are, how you operate, how you think, really having to look at yourself in a mirror a bit differently than you may have your whole life.
Yeah.
What was one of the biggest shocks for you when you first started trading?
Well, I mean, honestly, it would probably be before year one, and that'd probably be during the boom and bust. That was back when I was like heavy on EJ. And then to sit there and watch the $100 I put in, and then in the span of the drop making $300. So just to like, you know it's real, but like when it happens to you, it's like, okay. And that was when I wasn't taking it serious. And now like building the steps now, like I'm mad excited to see what actually comes my way now, you know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. That experience of first getting a profitable trade and like you said, recognizing that, oh, this is really possible, and it happened in a number of hours, right? Something that would normally take you a whole day or two to make $300 at certain jobs. You're like, dude, I just cleared something I normally work for all this time and do all this extra stuff to do it, but now look what's really possible. And there's other ventures out there, right? It's not to say like,
Yeah.
there's not other business ventures, but there's very few capable of doing exactly this.
Right.
So at what point did you realize trading wasn't going to be easy money after that experience?
Honestly, once you become aware of your own financial blueprint, and and start to realize that it's not the system itself, it's not the mentor, it's not the markets, it's definitely you yourself. So having to face that and having to like let everything go and rewrite the entire, my well, rewrite my entire pathways basically at this point, to develop the habits, to let go of those traumas, rewrite the entire blueprint. So it's not a one and done thing. I mean, even starting this year, going through starting with $100 and being like, yo, man, like I just locked it in. I'm letting go of the results driven mindset, only to sit here and realize that I still have those mental traps. And, here we are now, still building with you and everything, and still identifying that those are still an issue. Just because I've identified the problem doesn't mean I know how to overcome it. So that's definitely where you've come into play big time to actually give me a way to overcome.
For sure, and that's great. That realization, it takes you from the technical approaches, the fundamental approaches, and understanding that mindset plays a bigger role than we really realized in the beginning. You know,
Yeah.
what was your lowest point in that first year?
When we talked about I thought I had it, I thought I knew enough, and I traded my rent. Lost that. I had to sit there and, go out in Uber to recoup that. But that was a big ego hit there. Um, Several other
Humbling.
times. Yeah, very humbling. Definitely solidified the fact of, when you said don't trade money you need, build a skill set through demo, and do that. But yeah, it was definitely humbling. Having to put that in front of my wife and say, I just did this, and having to get out there and grind it out. So like things like that, man, just egotistical, overconfident, thinking just because you know the basics of it that you could, just take it and run. It's not that easy.
Yeah, nah, for sure. And then trust and believe you are not alone in that, man. You think you acquire a skill that, all right, cool. I think I trust myself enough to take $1,000 and at least make 500 this week, right? I can at least off of two bands make a few $100s this week, and then you don't understand that you haven't honed everything all the way in yet, to
Right.
really face it the way you need to face it, kind of like we do now. What kept you from quitting when that happened?
For one, the system, the mindset, the meditations, having fellow ITU students as well, like Steve, who have that drive as well and can also see the bigger picture. And the biggest one's my wife and my kids. They push me every day. They let me know every day they believe in the vision. So, I mean, especially when they're behind me, bro, I can't give up. You know what I mean?
That's a
So,
fact. That's a fact. Support system strong, man. I love that. Love that.
yeah,
Having a family that understands that it ain't easy. You're trying to push new levels. Your your mind is growing, and really when they get to experience you as this new person you're developing into, the appreciation's even higher because they're seeing you, become the strength they need just as well. Because,
right.
the kids' time is going to come when they got to chase their dreams and they're going to fail and they're going to be like, well, if dad ain't quit, so I ain't quitting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I definitely can't wait when that point hits, when they're doing their
Yeah.
own thing.
Yeah. So powerful. So powerful. So around this time, we're talking first year. What were some things you were dealing with outside of trading when you started committing to learning? Because there's such a balance between, okay, finding the time to put in to learn this skill set and also handling the day to day. Was there any struggles or battles you were facing to try to keep up with your learning and still do what you got to do on a regular?
Uh,
I have something truly special to share with you today. Have you ever dreamt of financial success and didn't know where to start? Look no further than Independent Trading University. At ITU, we offer a diverse range of courses, from Forex basics to advanced technicals, along with comprehensive fundamentals education, mindset coaching, health and wellness guidance, plus stock and crypto trading strategies. That's right. Everything you need for a well-rounded trading journey, all in one place. Our mission is clear, helping you make extra income by learning the art of trading. Join us today at solo.to/independent trading guru and take advantage of an exclusive pre-sale. $50 for undergrad students looking to trade part-time, and just $75 for career traders ready to dive in full-time. With ITU, you'll master the art of making consistent income from the markets. This is your chance to start building a brighter financial future. Are you ready to transform your trading game and take control of your financial future? Look no further than Independent Trading University, your one-stop destination for comprehensive Forex education and so much more. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced trader, we've got you covered. We believe in a holistic approach to trading success. Gain a deep understanding of market fundamentals, master your mindset, and prioritize your well-being. We're here to support your growth every step of the way. And let's not forget about stocks and crypto. Discover exciting opportunities and learn strategies to make extra income. The best part? We're running a limited time pre-sale for new students. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to gain the skills, knowledge, and support you need to succeed. Ready to make connections with your financial future? Visit our website at solo.to/independent trading guru to secure your spot in our pre-sale today. Independent Trading University, where trading dreams become reality. It's time to start your journey to financial freedom. Don't wait. Visit solo.to/independent trading guru now.
So first and foremost, the biggest one that you know of is the financial side of it, the bills. A lot of things I do pay out of pocket. So having to do that, juggle that, figure that. So finances were always heavy on my mind. So sitting here while learning trading, it was like, man, I need it now. So like I wasn't able to like see that the small wins, will compound. It was like, man, I know I need it right now in this day or this week. Also sitting here making sure that just because I'm doing it, not pulling myself away from my wife and kids, not becoming a full-on hermit. So finding that balance as well with my family, which at this point definitely have. It's always a good day. Um, but yeah, no, those are the big ones, man. The finances were definitely the big one that definitely drove me to blow lots of accounts during this journey.
Yeah, that need, that necessity, that knowing, what's possible, and then knowing and finding out that, am I in the position to where I can do this comfortably? Because we know trading's already difficult on its own as a skill set, and we don't want to increase it by adding those pressures of, man, I got this bill, I really got to get paid. So I love the fact that trading puts you in a place to have to get your life together first so you can comfortably do this to do what you need to do to hit the goals you want to hit
All right, that
rather
was a
than
pretty big
go
one.
ahead.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
say, yeah, that was a pretty big one. And you had to like break me out of that thought when I was like, bro, like that's the difference. Like I feel like I have to do this all like every day. Like I'm not as financially set or financially literate as everybody else. And he was like, no, it's not the case. And then we fixed it. And it's
That's
like, no,
it.
you can still do the same thing they're doing, less trades and better results. And I was like, man.
And you now seen a major difference just in that switch, right?
Oh yeah, man, definitely,
Oh,
definitely.
oh, man, blessings on blessings, man. You cannot come in with a scarcity or poverty mindset and try to do this thing because it's gonna show up. It's gonna show up in the market. It's gonna reflect in your everyday decisions in the market, which makes it very hard to do what you're trying to do.
Right.
Any day-to-day life things you feel like affected your performance, and how have you dealt with like uh, uh, maintaining? All right, I got to perform. I had a bad day. I had to step off. I'm gonna take a few days away and then come back when I'm in the right state of mind. Right? Any day-to-day challenges?
Uh, Day to day would probably be the most recent, because we do a midwife, so like I pay out of pocket for that. So handling that, paying for the labs, doing things like that, making sure I'm situated there, making sure my kids are good, making sure my wife isn't overloaded, especially being pregnant. Um, but yeah, those are the day to days that affect it. But it's just kind of shifting the schedule when I trade, when I get my readings in, now when I'm getting my workouts in, so that way I can still be there for them during the entirety of the day.
Good. And then adjusting schedules. Some of you guys out there might be, very, very busy and you only have a small window to trade. And you have to walk in and say, did I have a day that's setting me up to go into, say, an Asian session trader, right? I've had an entire day. It was a bad day. Am I going to trade Asian session today? Probably not, right? I need to take a time off, right? Step back, take a couple of days to readjust myself and align for a better day so I can make sure, one, I'm not putting my capital at unnecessary risk. Now, we talked a bit about this. You tapped into this a bit, but I'm gonna see if we can push a little harder. You can be as honest with me as possible. You need to be.
Okay.
If you ever make any excuses during the first year, and what did those excuses sound like? A good two or three.
Uh, if I had to say, I mean, it's more so like ways to downplay my losses. I can just do it again tomorrow. The markets just didn't cooperate. Um, I need a new strategy. It's my strategy. I got to improve my strategy. But externally, I don't really think I've ever blamed anything externally. And think I'm pretty good on being like, I can get that situated. But trading, it's everything pointed towards everything but the internal at that point in time.
That makes sense. A lot of the excuses we make all end up boiling right back down to it was me.
Yeah.
It was me doing this, telling myself this, knowing it was the end of the day and I shouldn't have traded again. It was 3:30 and I just tried to squeeze another $10 out like the end of the day. And those type of things end up turning around on us very quickly.
hmm Especially
Now,
those prop firms.
boy, they don't play, man. You have
They
got to be
do.
a professional.
Yeah.
The expectation level is truly there. What was the moment you feel like things started to click? Now you're going into the second year, and was it a moment or was it a process?
Definitely a process. So starting off like, I didn't tap into every resource. I didn't tap into Mike the way I should have, or Daniel. Um, and I tap in most of you, vent to you, like drop everything on you. So the technical side of it, speaking with you, walking life and everything, that stuck with me through the entire process. And then you dropped Rise, and Rise gave me the opportunity to actually start right. Mindset, the economics, and the technicals. And so like at this point now, like I'm set to tap into every part of ITU. I only utilized, really we say, only like 30% of ITU's capabilities. But now, like, I'm in here, I'm doing my reports, I'm doing all this, and a lot more progression. Yeah.
It's so important for those of you out there that either are thinking about on the fence or you're in ITU and you can't find the time or whatever excuse you may have. Understand that as time goes by, you miss utilizing these resources that are available. It's time that could have been spent in progression in your career field as a trader, which we all have a timeline. We've all heard it. Hey, 2030, the workforce will change completely. The world's going to be completely different. People who are still doing certain things and haven't pivoted to other stuff, you're going to be in the weeds. So it's just important to know, based on that timeline, the sooner I commit myself, the sooner I get some progress into the field, and I can be in a better position tomorrow, a better position a year from now. So I'm glad, and it shows what happens for us because the first year ITU's had events and structuring in a way that's going to build your character, right? That's going to build that personification of who you are as a trader. So it's fantastic that you've been able to take that approach, and the progress is showing in every report this year for sure. For
Most
sure.
def. Yeah, I mean, you can sit there, you can find it, bro. I mean, we tap in even when we're mobile on the road. You know, we hop in on those Zoom calls. We do what we can. We might not be able to like physically be in front of the computer, but we can still listen and take in the nuggets that we need, you know?
Yeah, and these days, if you got two devices, say you with the wife got her phone, you your phone using to listen, her phone to take notes, yeah, or whoever you with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we got the microphone feature, so there's zero excuses to not get your education in and build yourself into this field. And that's for anything endeavor that you do, right? You're building a character for that specific endeavor, even if you're going into business. Oh, I'm gonna be a musician, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do network marketing. I'm gonna sell this product. It's all about building that character up so that you have the abilities you need to perform on a day by day basis, right? But that information's got to come somewhere, and there's a certain level of commitment. Now, what are some things we'll say just this year alone that you feel you stopped doing that helped you improve?
Most traders already know what to do. That is not the problem. The problem is execution. Knowing the plan does not matter if you cannot follow it. Understanding the market does not matter if emotion makes the decisions. ITU Rise exposed the habits, beliefs, and patterns holding traders back. ITU Execute is where those patterns are replaced with standards. This is not motivation. This is not another strategy. This is professional execution training. At ITU Execute, traders build non-negotiable rules, structured routines, and decision frameworks designed to hold up under pressure. No shortcuts, no hype, just disciplined operation. If you are still searching for the next indicator, this is not for you. But if you are ready to operate like a professional, this is the next step. You already rose. Now it is time to execute. ITU Execute, Q1 performance.
Stop focusing on the money. Started focusing more on the process, less on the profits themselves. Um, I stopped being so self-critical of myself and, you know, sitting on the negative sides of things. Started, I mean, as a, what was it? I just had the next at bat is it to change it, I believe is how y'all put it. But just changed the entire perspective of how I look at it. Stopped living so much in that moment and then dwelling in the past to where now it's more so in the moment to assess and catch those small changes, shift what I could have done better, and then focusing and putting that towards I'm getting better and for my future self, for my family, you know.
No, for sure, for sure. That's a crucial point. And then we get a lot of conversation now between you and I and Steve for sure on consistency, right? So what does that mean to you now versus what you thought in that first year?
So in the first year, I thought consistency meant always trading, getting a trade, finding a trade, staring at the charts all day. Now today, as I'm looking and as I'm changing, consistency means sometimes sitting it out, sitting on my hands, you know, assessing. It could be consistency in the readings daily. It could be consistency in making sure I'm fit, making sure I'm getting that time with my family, and making sure the overall environment, not just trading, is all together. So that's more so on the consistency side of things, showing up to the Zoom call, showing up to the events. Um, but yeah.
Good, good. Now, and with that being said, of course, that consistency that you have now in all facets of your life, what new habits, right? You're going to the gym now, you're getting that time in with family. Now, as far as your trading progression, what habits are actually making a difference for you now?
Journaling, daily journaling, adding in the emotional side of it, you know, putting why I got in, um, if I thought it was actually a good trade or not, and then the result, and then what I thought after that result, and then the feedback at the end of the day, and doing that daily. And then on Fridays, doing the weekly reports, pretty much having to walk through it all again, which sit there, go through what were you thinking in that time? and then getting the fixes to move forward into the next week. And then we just had our 30 day. Then the 30 day was the raw one. That was good. I thoroughly and I enjoyed it. Like it was the changes now definitely help to evolve this new month that's coming as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I love that implementing the 30-day performance because now you from going to week, now having a grand outlook. And what's beautiful about this field is that it's immediate application. You know, you learn something, and the next day, the next week, you can start applying the new endeavor and adjusting your overall approach to it. And I think this next question is going to be really good for you for sure because of how you've gone from your beginning to your now. What would you say to someone who keeps restarting instead of just fully committing from the beginning the moment they start their education?
Every time you restart, yeah, I mean, every time you step away, you lose it all. You might it's good as done. You might as well wipe the hard drive. You got to come back in. The best way I heard it, no matter what you do, every endeavor you come in as if you're just stupid. Learn it from the ground up. So you got to restart every time. You're going through all those struggles all over again. Because I feel like every time that we stop, every time we give up, we've given into something negative in ourselves, some negative thought, some negative habit that we have, or the wrong priorities. So I'll just say keep going. Find the time. If it's that important to you, if your vision is that important to you, you will find the time to consistently show up.
For sure, there are many more hours in the week than I think people realize or account for. So there's no excuse to not be able to squeeze, 1, 2 hours a day or a weekend to do what you need to do. Because if you were in an institution of Harvard or Yale or any of these colleges paying $40,000 a year, you wouldn't miss a beat. But they're not going to give you nowhere near what you're going to get out of committing to something like this in this skill set.
Right. That's a fact.
What are you now that you are where you are? What does no excuses actually look like in your daily routine as far as preparing yourself for your trading sessions?
I just have to be open. I have to be very raw with myself. I can't make an excuse for my emotions. I can't brush off certain things. I have to put the truth on paper, because memory always lies. You can sit here and try to remember every trade you took during the week, but you're gonna sit here and try to fabricate it into some story to not look bad to somebody else. Um, I mean, I do it every week now, or day. I try to daily. I put it out there for the world to see. Like you will see me fail, you will see me. But yeah, just being raw with myself. You have to be. If you ever think of negative thoughts, like I don't feel like doing this today, or I don't want to show up, because there are days where like I'm like, yo, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted today. Like yesterday, we had the class. I was like, I don't want to go, but I'm like, sit there, worked it out, and said, yo, I need this. Like I'm struggling with this. I really need this right now. So I showed up.
It's those days too where the biggest nuggets be dropped
Oh
that you
yeah.
miss on, right?
Now
The
yesterday,
days
man, it
that,
made me feel dumb, bro. I was like, how did I forget that?
man, this is why it's so important to show up, guys. I know it gets exhausting. I know we got so much life happening at the same time, but I tell you, it's the times in which you miss where it's the nugget you need to take you to the next level. So, what do you think? Where do you think people lie to themselves the most in trading?
The skill level, or how good they are, or like what their capabilities are on their own, that they don't need the system, the education. I mean, that's why most of the educational materials people buy, they don't use. They maybe go through one module and don't use it, but it's confidence level, or you do it one time and you think you don't need nobody.
Yeah, a great place you guys can see that is the gym, and very, very often people have gym memberships and never use them. Have coaches and, oh, I got my fitness, I understand all this, but don't have the science to their own body, right? And somebody professionally to guide them. And that doesn't change in this endeavor either. And having those three pillars in ITU, mindset, the fundamentals in economics, the technical analysis, all builds you into one core trader. And I think people get the technical and then just try to run. And oh, that's it. I got it now. Man, you're gonna find out the hard way,
Oh yeah, ask me how I know.
I know that's true. I know that's true. If you could go back to your day one self, what would you say?
Tap in, stay consistent. Find every opportunity to make sure my memberships don't lapse. Um, Watch the recordings, go over all the educational materials, the books that are in there, read them. Um, you know, paint the vision sooner with my family. Let my kids see it a lot sooner. Um, but yeah, that's really what I would tell myself.
Really good, really good. That's so powerful, guys. You don't take anything away from that. It is do it early, move fast, commit, and get the family up to speed. And the kids seeing it makes it even more powerful for them because I remember being a kid. I never seen nothing like this. You know what I
Right.
mean? So to get introduced to it for me was 28 years old. Um, and then seeing other younger people already involved, I'm behind the ball.
Hell yeah, man. So many of them out there. And on top of that, man, like it's just you sacrifice a couple years, like just putting it in. Would you rather sit here and do it now to, even if it's just people breaking even, which that's never really the goal, but get ahead early so you're not trying to catch up later in life. The examples out there. Got all the elder, you go talk to the elderly people, they'll tell you several things they wish they would have done. They try to give the advice later, like, yeah, man, you should do this, but they don't have the credibility because they didn't try themselves, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So it's hard to take guidance from people who haven't walked the journey, who haven't went through the ups and downs and the struggles because they want safety and security, where that's not how any of this that we have in this world right now was developed. We reach these points because somebody decided to venture off into unknown territories, go through the fears, go through the ups and downs, the struggles, the obstacles, and survive and win. And that's a journey that empowers a person in a way that is very hard to even explain. You just got to experience,
Yeah.
that walk. Now, finally, I think this is a very good a way to close out here, and a sentence that can really help others reflect. So I'm going to have you finish this sentence. You will not make it in trading if you what?
If you half-ass it, if you're not all in.
Very deep. Very deep.
I know people probably want to hear something deep, but it's just I don't know. I'll keep it simple. I'm not big words or all this. It's simple. If you half-ass it, man, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Welcome to Independent Trading University at ITU. We're more than just an education platform. We're a community built to help you succeed. Trading can feel like a solo journey, but with ITU, you're never alone. Our team is here to support, guide, and push you toward mastery. Technical analysis support, so you can read the charts with precision. Fundamental support, so you understand market-moving news and economics. Psychology support, so you can develop the mindset of a successful trader. We provide the tools you need to thrive: weekly live education, 24/7 community support, and real-time trading setups from experienced coaches. Wherever you are, access the education and mentorship that will transform your trading. Join ITU today and trade with confidence.
It takes a commitment level, man. You look at, there's so many people in the stands watching these football players and basketball players and baseball players, but for them, it's every day. It's showing up, and I love Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, brother, but he showed up 4 a.m. before everybody else, where most made excuses.
Yeah, that story was that story. His story was amazing when he was like, "Yo, I feel like I've hit the wall," and they're like, "No, we just rebranded. It was the whole Black Mamba thing," and he came back at it, changed his whole mindset, ethics, all that. That story's crazy.
Yeah, but it shows what's possible when you allow yourself to expand outside of who you were to who you can be. We all go through those first 18 years of being um, influenced by family, by school and teachers, and we carry the weight of what they always tell us to do and how to do and what to do, but we never venture into ourselves and what really resonates with us, and when you don't do that, you don't understand that you were already born with a persona that you're looking to build into something that resonates with your heart more so than what everybody else may want for you. You and your God connection is independent of its own, and you've got to walk a journey that nobody else can understand but you and God. At
Right.
the end of the day. So again, that inner journey is so powerful, and committing yourself to an endeavor when you've decided this is what I want to do, you show up all the time. If you was an actor, if you was in any other field, it requires that same level of commitment to play at the highest level. And I think if you're going to spend a lifetime here, spend it playing at the highest level,
Right.
working towards that goal,
Yeah,
working
no, I
towards that
think
goal.
yeah, if I had to reword that sentence, it wouldn't make it in trading if you didn't if you don't honor your vision and your future self.
That's
Because I
it.
mean, it really, in reality, that's what we're doing. We're signing a contract with our future selves of how we
It's a
see
fact.
ourselves. So basically, still, if you half-ass it, you ain't gonna make it. But if you don't honor the future you, because you tell your future you, like, yo, I know you already have these habits and this mindset and this daily way of living. So I'm gonna do my best in the now to become you, and it may not be like the perfect way, but
No, that was great. You hit the nail there, man. And we are both avid listeners to Myron Golden and being coached by some of his practices. And what hit heavy for me, which I just told my daughter this about a week or two ago, is, it's one thing to die surrounded by family. There's another thing to die surrounded by all the versions of yourself you could have been that only were possible through you, and you didn't do them.
oh yeah,
All those dreams, all those goals, I could have been a real estate, guru tycoon. I could have been this, that, and the third. But if you went 50 years and didn't do none of it, it's going to go to the grave with you. And what is it in the grave but a lot of dreams that have died, things that people could have been and brought to this world that weren't brought to this world because they didn't have the confidence to continue to show up, but there is no success without failure.
yeah. No, I feel like when we go, God definitely will show us the things we were meant to accomplish. But I'm also a firm believer that if you don't answer to your purpose and your calling, just like in the Bible, he will find someone else. Somebody else will take it there.
Yep.
We see that all these thoughts that we think are original are not. Everybody thinks these thoughts. Somebody out there is very capable of doing what you think you want to do. And if you don't commit to it, if you don't do it to the fullest in the way you should, somebody else will take it. And then you'll be looking like, man, I had that idea. Well, you should have did it.
Right. And having the excuse of somebody else is doing it doesn't even make any sense, because just as much as we have a McDonald's, we have a Burger King, we have a Wendy's. As much as we got a KFC, we got a Popeyes, we got a Slim Chickens. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Oh
Just
yeah.
do it. Just do it, you know? And find those people that support and rock with you and got your back through that. And God will put the right people around you that are needed to bring it to life,
No, that's
time
a
and
that's
time
a
again.
fact. not everything. We're not meant to do everything on our own, and as you venture into the journey, you'll start to see that as he brings people around. You'll find out that sometimes maybe what you thought you were meant to do, you're probably meant to be with someone else and play a part in their journey as well. You know, it's not so much a solo thing.
That is for sure. That is for sure. Man, this has been a phenomenal conversation. I hope some of you guys that are out there, this has gotten the wheels turning, man. It maybe impacted you in a way that lets you know that you are capable, right? And that you're not alone, right? So this is what people don't see. You know, all the time we see traders and the results, but the conversation around the process, around the losses, around the frustration, the discipline it really takes to keep showing up, you know, and accepting those misses as just learning lessons. But what you heard today is the reality. There's no shortcut to the shortcut. There are no perfect systems. There's only you and your ability to execute said system. And if you're in year one right now, understand this: you're not behind. You're in a phase that's going to build everything going forward, but you've got to stay the course. So, DeAndre, brother, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience. I think it's going to help a lot of traders, and we'll definitely see you all in the next episode.
Most def. Appreciate the opportunity, man.
For sure, brother. Thank you for your time.
Yo.